When I first got saved, close to 20 years ago, I wish there was someone who were, in Christianity 20 years, who could have sat me down and kind of give me the ups and downs of Christianity, especially Gypsy Christianity and Gypsy churches. They would told me, watch yourself from this, not too much of that. Make sure you go here, make sure that just some instructions on how Christian life, especially Gypsy Christian life and Gypsy churches, run, how it works. So I decided, now that I'm a 20-year Christian, that I'm going to give some advice, much as possible. My life experiences in the Gomende churches and in my Christian walk. Main thing that I've learned in this 20 years, and I'd like to pass on to you, is stay to your own church. Please let me explain. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to a different church and go to a revival, go to a baptism, go to a barbecue. It's beautiful. I love to do that. I'm a church-going person. And the past 20 years, I did it, and I'll still do it. I'll still walk into anyone's church, even churches that people told me I shouldn't go. If I felt like going, I'm going to go, and fellowship with the people and have a beautiful night out. But see, there's a difference between going and visiting a church and supporting a church. Big difference. See, my family the past 20 years has supported all of the churches around us for the 20 years. We've been to the all-night studies, all-night prayer meetings, daytime teachings, healing services, women's studies, and the 50 different titles, which pretty much come out to the same thing. But the 50 different titles, we were there. We felt as though these are our brother churches, and we need to support them because one day we were going to need their support, So we built a relationship with all the surrounding churches, thinking that, we were all one. We're all going to support each other, thinking that one day when they, we need them, they'll be there for us. And of course, we've been there for them for the past 20 years. Whatever was done, when we didn't have it, when we had it, when we didn't feel good. There was so many times we changed our dates. Birthdays, anniversaries, whatever it might be, because it was a certain church doing a certain thing on a certain day, and we wanted to go. So we would change our kids' birthdays and support the churches because they're our brother churches. We're gonna, get together and be one. Big mistake. Big mistake. Now, again, I want you to hear this again. I'm not talking about not go visiting churches, not go visiting a church, because I like visiting churches. I do. That's not the problem. The problem is I got caught up. I got caught up thinking that if I was there for the churches, if I was there for the surrounding churches, no matter what, on snowy nights, on rainy nights, on nights I even couldn't make it, but made it anyway, that we had this now back and forth, give and take type relationship. But I was wrong. My father was in the hospital for 3 months. Not for a cold, Massive stroke on a feeding tube. Couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't get his balance. Didn't know if I'd get my father back. Where was those surrounding churches? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere. Oh, Bobby Doo, you don't go to a hospital, so therefore... See, here's the problem about that. First of all, if you're a titled person, you can't get even with me. You don't have that right. Due to that to servants, due to that to title. So, Motolo Del, that you shouldn't get even, and you should be paid back good with evil. You should show the example. You can't use that when you didn't come to my hospital, so I don't have to go to yours. No, I'm not a servant. Or meaning I don't have a title. Chichudema, teacher, elder, deacon, whatever it might be. So there's a difference there. Second of all, if I did make it to the hospital, I made sure that I called and I apologized with all my heart, but I have to go, Kulsum, straight out. Please forgive me. I have extreme anxiety when it comes to elevators. Everyone knows that. And I feel as though personally I'm more of a burden when I go to a hospital than I am an asset. Because if everybody wants to go to the 5th floor, 3rd floor, 6th floor, whatever, someone has to stay downstairs with me, I'm not 6 years old. I'd rather not go. I'd rather come to your house. I'd rather come to your church. I'd rather visit you afterwards or whatever it might be and make up for it. I didn't even get the call. I didn't even get the call because I've called a few people and I apologize from out of my heart. I'm sorry. If you're mad at me, I don't blame you. Don't ever talk to me again. And of course, they were, but don't worry about it. It was all good. If I at least would have got that call, nothing. Nobody was interested. It makes no sense to me at all. So my advice to you is this. Stay with your church. Visit churches. I have no problem with that. I'll still visit churches. I hope I'm still welcome after this. But the truth is the truth. You know, I'm giving you my 20-year experience. Because here's the deal. Oprah Winfrey, and I know she's the devil and she's fake prosperity, whatever it might be, but she's still a very smart woman. She put out something called, "What are you 100% sure about?" And that question went viral. Even though it's a simple question, but because she asked it, everyone had to ask themselves. And it's a good question to ask yourself also. What are you 100% sure of? Now, of course, we're going to say Jesus Christ and Lord and Savior, and that's all beautiful. But outside of that, here's something I'm 100% sure of, and I will tell you, everyone watching, your church will hurt you. Oh, yes, sirree. They will destroy you. They will hurt you. They will crush you. You may not want to go back, hurt your spirit, hurt your walk, whatever it might be. But here's the news. You'll do the same thing. Yes, you will. You will hurt your church. You will talk bad about them, talk bad about the pastor, your gossip, whatever it might be. But see, here's the difference. Your church, which many times my church did it to me, came and asked for forgiveness. Yet Sodom, if we hurt you in anyhow, we made a mistake, we apologize, and instantly, whatever chuli there was, it was gone. And you'll come to your church and say, Yet Sodom, I was nervous, I'm going through a bad time. See, that's relationship. That's true relationship that you have with your pastor in your church. But see, some other church that you think you're supporting and you're a partner, somewhat part of their congregation, and you're splitting your service to two churches, yeah, you're not going to get that. Another church will never come and apologize to you. And please don't give me that, we're praying for you, we're praying for your dad. Past year, people said, how's your father? He's doing well, we're keeping him in prayer. Let me give you guys a little bit of 20-year advice to all the church people. If you can't pray with that person right then and there, if you can't lay hands on them or hold their hand and put your hand on their shoulder and pray for the situation, 8-second prayer. 8 seconds. Devil, I pray for Bobby Dewar. I pray for his father. Devil, touch your was, show peace and moral prowl. Give him strength. If you cannot pray with that person right at that moment, on the phone, in person, 8-second prayer, then don't even give that. We're keeping him in prayer because it doesn't cover up for the time I needed you the most. They didn't come for the 3 months. They didn't care. After all the money that we've given to their churches, all the food, all the support, all the stuff we did, nobody showed up. And that's my experience for the past 20 years. Maybe you had a different experience. This is called Stories with DoTubes. This is my story. And I wish someone would have sat me down 20 years ago and tell you, make sure you stick with your church. Because even though you'll have hard times, even though you'll be mad at the church will be mad at you, you're still a relationship with them. It's still a relationship. It's still your church. Sooner or later you'll come back. Sooner or later you'll apologize. They'll apologize, and you'll come back together in fellowship. Other churches that you're supporting, not visiting. I love to visit churches. I love to go to barbecues, Bible studies, baptism. I think it's beautiful. I think you should go to the churches and fellowship with everyone. But if you think you're supporting the churches because you're going to get, a payback on your investment, there is no payback. That's just my experience. So, God bless you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this Stories with DoTube. I know it sounded a bit harsh, but and I know my videos are usually 7, 8, maybe like 4 or 5 minutes long. I like to keep it too long, but this one's a little bit longer because this is my true heart talking. I wish I would have known then, 20 years ago, not to expect so much from surrounding churches, surrounding people, and all the money and all the time and all the effort and all of the sacrifice. I think that's the major word here. The sacrifice me and my family gave to all the surrounding churches. We should have just kept it in our church. The one that came and gave my father communion and prayed and prayed with us and came to the house and made the phone calls and got the doctors and did everything for us. Everything your church is supposed to do for you, not the surrounding churches. So God bless you guys. Thank you for watching Story with DoTube. God bless.